CPM2 elections are here. Okay, so video I got for you guys, it's just some PC gameplay. I raffle stomped them in this first one because they're highly disorganized and bad, and the second one's kind of boring, but yeah, this first one's entertaining at least, I like to think. So yeah, I'm going to talk about how you go about voting, the way you should do it, and who you should vote for here. Alright, so first things first, where you're going to want to go to vote. I will have it linked in the description. It's like dust514.com/community/cpm/vote or something like that. And yeah, that'll be in the description. So just go right down there. You got to log into your account, and the account has the character, I believe, has to be 60 days old, or a character on that account or something. I don't know. Either the account or a character on it has to be at least 60 days old, and you have to have within a certain amount of time. Within the past couple months, I can't tell you the specifics here, but you have to have a decent amount of playtime, 30 hours over the last however long, I'm not sure. It's helpful to whichever candidates you want to win to vote for as many, so even if you're not sure if you have that playtime, you just log in on those extra accounts if you have them, and give them those extra votes, because in this election, with as few people that, there are voting, every single vote makes a big difference. Okay, so the system of voting that is used is it's STV. That is single transfer voting, or single transferable voting, or something just like that. Anyways, so basically how it goes, in this specific one, you're going to get 7 votes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So pick them in order that you want. Your first vote is who you want on there most. The 7th is, your last vote, the one you want on there least out of your top 7, basically. Uh, don't say I think this guy's gonna win anyways and put him like last on your list. Just the way it works, if they already have enough votes to win, then that your vote will transfer to the next person on your list, and just keep moving down until it finds a place, where it fits in. All 7 of your votes, you don't get 7 votes. So yeah, I can't emphasize this enough. Vote for them in the order that you would like to see them on the council. You do not get 7 votes, you only get 1. Vote for the person you want for the most in the first spot. Do not vote for less than 7 people. There's no real good reason to do it, unless you just want to somehow, for some reason, remain completely neutral and not vote on something you're not educated on. But I'm gonna try to educate you a tiny bit on the candidates in a moment. So yeah, there's that. Just go to the website, put them in the order that you want them, and that's it. Do it on as many counts as you can. Help out the people you think deserve a seat on this council. Think people that will do the best job. Alright, so that's that. Now, the candidates. Let me pull this back up here. Alright, so this year there are 41 candidates, at least on the sheet. I think it was 21 last year, so they're just under twice as many. That's kind of promising. The CPM was kind of new last year. People didn't know what was about. Well, the CPM elections were new anyways. There was a CPM0, which consisted of, I think, 5 players. The last one consisted of 7, and this one will be 7 again. So let's talk about a couple of the candidates. By a couple, I mean a lot. There are, honestly, 20 or so candidates on here that I've never interacted with or seen. And if I don't mention them, then sorry, I don't think that they're very good choice. There are some that I have interacted with, and I will specifically say that they are not a good choice. So let's just start from the top here. Kevel Longstride, also known as Denny Fleetfoot Eveside. He was a member of CPM1. He is a member of CPM1 because they're not quite done yet. Yeah, so he got elected last year. He's kind of a fanboy for CCP. He plays Eve, he plays Dust. He goes to FanFest and he dresses up as characters, or I guess a merc, I suppose. So cosplay. Now, from what I've heard, him being on the council last year. Now he's not, he's not one of the spreadsheet warriors, not even one of the forum warriors, but he got buddy with, I say buddy, that makes it sound like a bad thing, but he forged a good relationship with CCP Hilmar, which is one of the one of the higher ups at CCP. I don't know his exact position. I want to say it's one of the higher ups anyways. I don't want to say something to be wrong. Yeah, and CCP Rouge, which is one of the main guys who works on Dust. So yeah, he got in with them. So all he has to do, if the council say works as a cohesive unit as it should, then they all get the ideas. And if some of the council members are trying to tell this to, say Rouge or Hilmar, then they can't get it through. They're a little busy, but then they see Kevel Longstride / Denny Fleetfoot come in here and say, I have this idea that we wanted to present to you, and there you go. He gets in a little more easily, so that he's got that advantage. Another advantage he has is he is the CEO of Dust University, and I can't say whether or not he's the CEO of the Eve University, but he's at least a part of that. Basically, they're training corps. They help out new guys, and that's one of the most important things in this game. Yeah, and one of the most important changes this game needs is a better new player experience, and he, out of all these candidates, is pretty much the closest to that. He can give the most, feedback. He can gather the most feedback. And so yeah, that's Kevel Longstride. He did make my ballot. I did just vote a moment ago. I'll tell you guys what my 7 were in what order as soon as I'm done with this. Next, okay, let's move on here. Macelia Delt. He presented himself as kind of an everyman kind of candidate, with no bias and that kind of thing. No bias, just straight feedback. He was I voted for him last year. He did run for CPM1, but he didn't make my list this year. There's a lot of good candidates. I'm sorry, Macelia, he didn't make it for me this year. Genoma Yastard, know nothing about him. Aeon Amati, voted for him last year. I was a little less informed last year than I am this year. I didn't know how he does do a lot of work, just trying to help the community, doing work. Just something. He's kind of a pushy guy though. And a bit inconsistent, I guess the best word I can think of at the moment. Yeah, he did some big thing when he didn't win last year, and now he's running in this year. Anyways, didn't make my list, but he would be a fairly good candidate, I think. Cross Atu, he ran for CPM1, was elected to CPM1, and he's been called the All-Star of CPM1, just did the best all-around job of communicating with CCP, talking with his fellow CPM members, and providing good feedback. So he did make my ballot for this year. I don't recall if I voted for him last year, but he didn't make it either way. Midis Betancourt, he made what am I talking about? I know him a little bit in game. He's an okay guy, but I just think he's outclassed by some of the candidates in just sheer work they've put into this game and potential for doing more work in the future. Victor Haddad Jr., Troll, Sergeant Kirk. He's another guy who, if there weren't so many good candidates, I would vote for, I think. Some people don't like his personality so much, and another factor I don't like quite so much about him, he's a Galente loyalist, like very much hardcore, like runs only Galente gear, pretty much, and that just, cuts out from the rest of the game. He can't provide personal feedback on any of that, and he's very much biased towards it. Something I don't like. Arthur Tavares, don't know him. Zarya Mindair, she is the CEO of Outer Heaven and made my list. She has been playing PC since the very beginning. Something that the council has been light on in the past is people who play the game at the highest level, PC. They had Zatara last year, but he pretty much disappeared partway through. Sold his PS3 before his term ended. Still hasn't ended. Yeah, and Zarya, I believe she'll stick around, and she's not quite as pushy as Zatara. I don't know if you ever interacted with Zatara, any of you, but if you have, anyways, you kind of know him. Level-headed, provides good feedback. A lot of these candidates, her and Zarya included, did interviews on Biomass. So if you just look up biomass.net, it should come up. There's blogs and there's podcasts you can listen to if you want to hear about it. Like the last 5 podcasts or something like that have been on CPM. There's a lot of blogs talking about the candidates. Arkina Wyrmsfire, another candidate I'd like to vote for but can't. One of the biggest forum warriors on the forums, just doing, interacting with the community, just the sheer number of posts and times communicated with other members of the community says something at least. MRBH, I know him in game a little bit. He'd be an okay candidate, but again, outclassed. Bonita Amor, don't know. Talos Vegetan, this guy is my personal favorite. He posts all the time in features and ideas discussion, a lot of very good ideas that I'd never think of. He's really the only one I'll ever take time. No, usually the only one I'll take time to really respond, provide other ideas in features and ideas section. I'll post other places sometimes, but yeah, he's my personal favorite. I like to see him on there. Just so many good ideas, and he's just so good with other people's ideas. He'll present an idea, somebody will tell him it's a bad idea or how he should adjust it, and then he adjusts it how they said or just in a way that he feels fit until he can find a good compromise. If his good ideas were put in this game, this would be a much better game. So he got my vote. Tesfa Alum, much like Miscelia Delt, it was an everyman kind of thing, an unbiased kind of thing. But again, same reason I'm not voting for a lot of other candidates. Pokey Draven barely missed it last year when he ran for. Oh, Tesfa also ran for CPM1. I don't know if I said that. Pokey Draven ran for CPM1, but didn't quite make it. I think he was the 8th. He had the 8th highest standing, ranking, whatever, because it's not necessarily the most votes because of how the system works. But yeah, he's another very good one. Very similar to Cross Atu. Pokey, maybe Pokey might have been the MVP of the CPM1 had he been there. Can't say for sure, but he is one of the best. He's essentially been doing CPM work without even being in the CPM. Just the level of work he puts into and how good his work is. I think earns him a seat. He got my vote. 911 Roush, don't know. K. Rogers, don't know. Kirito Guzman, don't know. Yulinda, don't know. Thanos Vasilios, don't know. Sunny14, don't know. Jeriel Johnson, he's kind of an idiot. Don't vote for him, please. Demens Grimwolf, alright, so there's a whole bunch of candidates from negative feedback. There's him, Silly Rabbit, Aeon Amati, and I think there's one more I'm missing. Maybe not. Kane Spiro, there was a lot of joking about that, but he didn't actually win. Anyways, the men's Grimwolf, again, I'd like to vote for him. He's a cool guy, a very level-headed guy. I think he would do good in, the communication aspect. And he also is another person who plays on the highest level, but outclassed. I haven't seen him put in, enough communication work outside the game. All the people that made my list, I've at least seen in game, and I've seen them do work outside the game. So I try not to vote for anyone that I haven't at least seen in game, and I haven't at least seen post on the forums or something like that. So that's that. Chicho Men, don't really know him. Have seen him in game, but don't know him. Breaking stuff. A lot like Pokey, a lot like Cross. He provides very good feedback. Whereas Cross and Pokey are very calm guys, and they'll listen to ideas and things like that. Breakin is a little more assertive. If you think something's wrong, he will tell you it's wrong, but he will back up his own point of view basically to the ends of the earth. So it's not quite a bad thing. he has evidence to support what he says almost always. I think he's one of the better ones, and maybe it'd add for a nice it make for a nice combination on the CPM. The people who are good with it, and then just how am I trying to say this? Some pushier guys and some not so pushy guys. I don't know, just a good combination there. Anyways, he got my vote. He was on there. Yeah. L. Hughes, troll, dust user, troll. The Silly Rabbit. It's a lot like Sergeant Kirk, and another guy I'm going to talk about in a little bit. He lobbies for things that he knows about only, really. His tagline sort of thing was, if you're a logistic player or you want to see logistics improve, vote for him. That's not how I think this should be approached. I think you should say, at least give talk about what you think about many aspects of the game. Don't just say a couple. He's another one of those negative feedback. I did mention that. Yeah. I think he would do okay, but better people to vote for, I think, and also that factor I just mentioned. Stopia Noman Game, I don't know that he necessarily be the best for the council. Lynn Beck, I know the name, I've seen it on the forums, but I don't know too much about him, so I can't tell you anything here. Operative 1174, don't know him. Purin Bulat, no. Karald Sengar, no. Ripley Riley, he's very active in the community, on the forum especially. I have seen him in games, so that's a little bonus there. He has a core called Incorruptibles, which is basically for vets, so that's Or, I suppose you would accept most people. But yeah, it's just kind of for people to hang out and talk. It's just, it's not a PC corp, it's not a training corp, it's just a hangout corp, which is kind of cool. Yeah, and just another one of those guys with good feedback and whatnot. He probably would have been in my next vote, or my vote after that one, but he just barely missed my list. Punk Snow Mash, excuse me, didn't make it. Darth Carbonite, he did make my list. I know him very well in game. Uh, Maybe I could be a bit biased here, but I'm gonna try to have you guys take me on my word that I'm not being too biased here. Just talking to him, interacting with him day in day out. If I didn't think he was good for it, I wouldn't tell you guys to vote for him. But I do think he'll do a good job. He again, he plays at the highest level along with Zara. He is heavily involved in a PC Corp Random Guns. And yeah, he plays all parts of the game. He's a quiet kind of guy, but he'll have a conversation with anyone, listen to anybody, and calmly listen. He won't say he won't call out things for being complete bullshit, or he will if they're complete bullshit. But he'll listen to ideas, even though if they're not necessarily the best. His platform was the most complete, the longest. He addressed the most things. If you want to check that out on the forums, I believe there's one in general discussions right now, and also a version in one of the CPM sections, either the Arcurio speakers corner thing, whatever that's called, or the CPM hangout, whatever. The council's chambers, that's what it's called. It's in one of those two. They're both under the CPM section. It's interesting this year they didn't actually use the CPM campaign section of the forum for campaigns. Don't know why. So the 21 old ones are still just sitting there, and there's no new. Anyways, that's that. I highly recommend Darth. Sir Manboy made it on the first council. He's another fairly good candidate. There are a lot of good ones. I'd say there's 15 or 20 that I would cast a vote for if I could. Sir Manboy made it on the first one, but again, I think too focused, a little bit of tunnel vision maybe. He really, really likes domination. He really, really likes playing Logi, and he really, really wants team deploy. And he just pushes for those, I think, too much. He should be focused on, more than just those three things. Not a bad guy, and probably one of the members of CPM1. I think he probably played the most, but I can't be sure. And then Devadander, M621, ZMA, and Carasini Taro. Don't know them. So that's pretty much all the candidates on there. So my votes were, what was it? Okay, I had 1, Talos Vegeta, 2, Darth Carbonite, 3, I think, Pokey Draven, 4, Cross Atu, 5, Zarya Mindir, 6, Kevel Longstride, and 7, I had Breaking Stuff. And that's just mine. If you want to use that, feel free. If you want to move them around, feel free. If you want to vote for something else, feel free. But I highly recommend those people. There are a couple other very good candidates. Ripley just barely missed my list. I'd like to vote for Arkina. Aeon would be pretty good, I think. And a couple other people as well. But the 7, and I'll say them one more time. Okay, let me start at the very beginning here. Go to the link in the description. Log into your character if you're not already logged in. Put them in the order you want them, possibly the order I suggested, possibly different people, but again, recommended people I said. And then if you have other characters and you really want the people you voted for to win, log into another character, and if you meet those requirements, it'll let you vote again. Another account, excuse me. And that's all there is to it. So 1 Talos, 2 Darth, 3 Pokey, 4 Cross, 5 Zarya, 6 6 Kevel, there we go, and 7 Break-In, and that's my list, and that's that's kind of how to vote, and some things you should consider when voting. That's pretty much all I got for you. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and I'm very curious to see the results of this election, so let's make it happen. Let's get a good council elected. See you guys.